Shortly after this lavish tour, the ELP dynasty came to an end.
There weren't that many rock trios in the world, and today there's only one trio that's made that kind of impression on the musical industry, which is Please, right? So I thought we had something which was unique and we should hold on to it. Unfortunately, when you deal with two people like Emerson and Lake, who have unbelievable talents from a writing point of view, I mean, they can only take so much. It's a little easier for me because I don't have that much to offer as far as writing, the writing of music, though I do write a little. So I think it was harder for them to live with, but a little easier for me. So it ended, I think, the beginning of '79, and basically I wanted to try and get a band together that played songs. I did that. It was called PM. We released a record on Areola Records. The album didn't sell very well at all. I mean, it was pathetic in actual fact. But, you know, that's failure, but I could live with that. It's okay, you know, because I've been exceptionally lucky in my life, so I went along with that, and after 1 year I decided to finish it. At the time of the formation of Asia, I was in the studio finishing off a solo album that I'd started with Emerson Lake. I had already recorded a concerto for percussion with the London Symphony Orchestra, and I was about to finish the other side of the album, and I was working with Mike Oldfield, and when I got the call to join the band.
Who's the first big name band you played with?
First name band I worked with really was Family, and which was good. When I joined them, I'd just come back from America. I'd saved up enough money by doing session work to go to America to see what was going on this side of the Atlantic. And I realised after I'd been in Los Angeles for about 6 weeks that it wasn't really where I should be. I should be back in London. So I got on a plane, got back to London, and that day I joined Family. And that was quite nice, you know, a little bit of success, but I wasn't writing and I wasn't singing. So it was good fun while there, and it was a good experience for me. But then when I got an offer to join King Crimson, to be the lead singer as well, I took it straight away.
Your admirers in the streets got to hoot and stamp their feet in the heat from your physique as you twinkle by in moccasin sneakers. Well, I argued with the judge, but the bastard wouldn't budge, 'cause they called me Lincoln Fudge, and they never told me once you were a minor. Easy money.
After King Crimson's last tour, John Wetton continued with Roxy Music and Uriah Heep. Eventually, John started another band, UK, which didn't quite make it.
And that's really where Asia came from. As I went to Brian Lane, Yes's manager at that time. Brian introduced me to Steve. We started working together, but then we decided we wanted to make a band of it, and managed to get Jeff into the band, and then we had to find a drummer. Carl just popped up, and as soon as the four of us sat down, it looked and felt like a band, you know, that was it.
From the outside, Asia is viewed as a virtuoso musicians band. Do you agree with that assessment?
It may be slightly mistaken. That may be your first impression, but in fact the record, what we've gone for, rather than having disparate images of musicianship, we've gone for a group sound, which we were very careful about in the first place. Something we sorted out right from the beginning. We said, let's not go for the long, overblown solos, because the only people that's just ammunition for critics, right? They'll just say, oh, well, no change. It's just like they haven't changed since the 70s, they're exactly the same. Let's go for something that at least we can say, oh, we like it. You know, so we went for short, concise, good, solid songs, and less of this sort of overblown musicianship thing, which has thankfully paid off.
Give me a quick thumbnail sketch of the other members of Asia.
Well, first of all, Steve Howe, really, he kind of answers himself, doesn't he, really? He speaks for himself. Lead guitarist in Yes. Steve, I think, was probably in Yes for a period of 8 years or something like that. Well, when he joined, the band had success, so you know, that means something. And he was a co-writer on the track Roundabout, I believe. I think that was one of the things which he was involved with, which was one of their biggest singles. John Wetton, as you know, on bass, played with various groups, probably the most well-known being King Crimson and UK. John being the lead singer in the band. Jeff Downs, keyboards, possibly, probably one of the most, for me personally, one of the most up-to-date sort of approaches in playing keyboards, because he's dealing with a kind of computerized system. As you know, he was one of the co-writers of Video Killed the Radio Star.